Hey everybody, welcome back to the RacermanXtreme YouTube channel, and today we have a very different kind of video. So luckily I've actually done one of these before, so this one should be a little quicker than last time. So behind me I have a Wii that does not read discs anymore. So this one actually belongs to one of my coworkers, and when you put the Wii Sports disc in, it could be any disc. A lot of you may have seen this before. But it just spins up, spins up, spins up, and then it starts making this weird noise. It's struggling. And that to me is the sound of death. Because this screen will show up, and then you basically just have to reboot your console. So there's really two things in life that you can really do. You can either buy another Wii or you can get it fixed. And more specifically, you can either do it yourself and risk breaking it, or you can find somebody who knows how to do it. I guess I'm that person. So this Wii is definitely in need of service. So I'm going to show you today how to actually replace the disk drive in your Wii console, start to finish, and we are going to get that screen to never show up again, well, unless that drive fails. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So step one, eject your disk. We'll just set that up there. And we are inside of Emma's room today. We're just going to unplug the console. Just like that. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do after undoing everything is bring it over to a well-lit surface. Don't mind the diamond art. Like I said, we're in Emma's setup right now. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to take our iFixit toolkit. I don't believe you're going to need picks or anything fancy. Though I would recommend something that can get down in there and get some of the screws out. So anyway, we're just going to take our iFixit toolkit. Just grab a Phillips bit that fits the screw that you're about to do. Trying to pick out a Phillips. We'll go with this one right here. It's the PH00. And we're going to start by removing this top screw right here. We're going to pull that out. We're going to set that off to the side. And we're going to try to keep our screws nice and organized. And also when I pull these trim pieces off, I'm going to set the screws next to it. If you want to remove the doors on the top, it says push like until you hear a click. And then push, and then this one should just pop right out. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We're just going to push. Well, this one's being stubborn. That is okay. I don't want to break it either. What did it say for the back part? It doesn't say anything. Maybe this one doesn't come off, but I mean it should. You just pull it right out. And visually it looks perfect. So yeah, just pull it out. Be careful with it. That's all you really got to do with these. Is just be really careful. So I did warn my coworker because I've actually worked on, well, this will be my second one that I've worked on. And one thing that I warned learning from the first one is the Wii is really difficult to work with. Why I bothered to attempt a repair on the first one, I honestly just told him, like, just let me take a crack at it, see what I can do. It looks like this piece, it comes out like that, so just be careful with it. It's one of those do as I say, not as I do moments. So next thing you're going to want is to find a tri-wing screwdriver bit for these top two right here. So these are going to be by your GameCube ports. You can still use your Phillips on the other two screws. So we're going to unscrew this. We're going to unscrew that. And then we're going to switch over to our tri-bit. So we're going to take these screws and we're going to put them just back there. Now to find a tri-bit. You could probably just use the Y00. I believe that's the same size. Yes. So we can just use that. We're going to put that back there with that. And okay, so it's out of frame, but this is what I'm working with so far. And I apologize for that slide. So that's going to be just out of frame if you see me reaching up to put stuff away. The next thing you're going to do is flip it over. So first thing we want to do is switch back to our Phillips, and we want to take out this CMOS battery. It should just kind of come right out like that. Leave the screw in it so you don't lose it. And it's okay if the battery falls out. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your tri and you're going to take out this screw and keep it with your CMOS battery so that way it's easy to find it later. I might even have to recommend a slightly bigger bit than the one I'm using. Just trial and error it. Don't strip the screw and you should be fine. Next thing is you're going to remove, I think it's this foot right here. So this is an adhesive foot and you just got to pull up. You can just use a screwdriver bit to just kind of loosen it and then maybe get your fingernail under there. So I don't really have fingernails at the moment. I keep them pretty trimmed. So maybe you take a flat bit and you're just going to pull that up and don't lose this, but basically set it off to the side, grab another Phillips. I would probably size down to a smaller Phillips just to get this little one. And you're going to pull out this little screw and keep it with your foot. You know what? There it is. So put it with your foot over there, little rubber foot. And then you'll notice that this piece is starting to get loose. That's good. We're almost there. So next thing we got to do. Okay, so there was a sudden jump in the video. Do not pull these feet up. There is nothing under them. You're actually going to pull up these little stickers next to it. So go ahead and remove this foot back here. You're going to notice that there's two screws underneath these 2 feet. You can just drive your screwdriver in and then just pull it up. It'll be perfectly fine. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab one of your tri-wing screws. Or screw bits. Now my screwdriver's not long enough, so I need something to space it. Okay. So I'm taking a Y0 bit and I am taking the 4.0 on the top row of my iFixit toolkit right here. And I am simply using it as an extension so I can actually get down in there. And I should be able to just turn the screw like normal. Once it's loose, do the same thing on the other side, up here. And then we're going to take our 2 screws and I'm just going to cover them, flip them over, let them pop out, and then there's going to be 2 more screws that we have to remove in order to, actually, I think 3 more. So I'm going to remove these stickers on the bottom, and I'm going to tell you which ones do and don't have screws. So there is a screw. There is a screw. And there is a screw. So you're going to remove all 3 stickers on the bottom of your Wii. And you're going to use your Phillips on 2 and your Tri on 1. So it's okay if you switch between the Y0 and the Y00. They're pretty much the same. Honestly, I would probably just recommend sticking with the Y0. I know I said the Y00 earlier, but it honestly doesn't really matter. Both will get the job done decently, which is all we can really expect. I'm going to switch back to my PH00. I'm going to remove these bottom 2 screws. And I'm going to place these with the stickers so I don't forget. And the easiest way to remember is the sticker that has the Y goes on the 1 part. So I'm going to set those there. All right, let's see if we can pull this apart yet. Okay, so the top of it is starting to come apart. There it goes. So I'm going to pop this sticker off. Because I could have sworn there was a screw under this. That might be wrong. Yeah, I think there is. 'Cause that's, yeah, there it is. So there's going to be 1 screw. It's going to be below your eject button on the side right here. You don't need to remove the one up here, and you don't need to remove these 2 feet. You just need to remove the one on the front. It's going to be a Phillips. Actually, it's a Y. My mistake. So you're going to grab one of your Ys. And you're just going to remove it out. Now, this one, it's going to be at the front. So I'm going to set it off to the side so it's all alone. I'm also going to take the little sticker and stick it next to it. Okay, so next thing is... Oh, actually? Yeah, you do take the sticker off. I guess I didn't scrape it deep enough. Yeah, actually, yeah, you do take the sticker off. There it is. Okay, so the sticker's kind of messed up. That's fine. Like I said, I already told my coworker that these things are kind of annoying. So I'm going to stick that up there. I will try to put that back on as best as I can. If not, it's not a huge deal. Anyway, you're going to gently pull this off now that we're actually inside of the Wii. And the first thing you want to do is locate where the front of the console plugs into the main part of the console. You're going to just gently pull that out. And you're going to set your buttons off to the side. Then you want to take this top shell off. I think we're finally at the point where we can. This should just split right apart and allow you to access the inside of your Wii. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, so we're coming apart now. And like I say, you don't need to remove these 2 feet because it's actually screwed in right there. So now that you have this apart, it's a little dusty. I'm just going to rub my finger on it. It's just a little dirty. Set that off to the side. And now the next thing you want to do is you want to grab your new disk drive and have that handy. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a Phillips. There it is. Start by removing that. And then we should be able to just... Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, so we want this to come out. That's the end goal. Perfect. So now that that's out, there's 2 more screws we got to remove, and then we got to be extra diligent. We're going to move this one, followed by this one. So we're going to put these over here. These are our disk drive screws. And then we got 2 more to remove. We got to remove this one on the bottom. We got to remove this one on the bottom. And then our disk drive should come out, but do not rip it out for any reason. We're not done. The next thing to do, so this is our old drive, so it's not as important, but one thing I will recommend is if you carefully move it to where you can see the stuff on the bottom, you should be able to find a ribbon connector and a plug. So go ahead and gently pull the plug out like that, and that'll expose your ribbon cable. Then go ahead and unseat the ribbon cable. And we have successfully removed the drive. What the heck is that? So we're going to set that off to the side. We're going to open up our new one. I do like buying from this person on eBay. They sell really good cheap disk drives, and as long as this one works, I will let them keep the positive reputation. Because so far I bought 2 disk drives from them, and then this one, so that's my 3rd, actually. I would have bought from this one store to give them another chance, but they don't sell what I was looking for, so I was just like, okay, cool. So once you seat your connector, go ahead and flip it back this way. So the cool thing is the screws that I removed earlier that were right here, here, and here, those actually hold the disk drive itself together. You don't actually have to remove those. I'm going to make sure the video is edited for that. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this on its side just so I can make sure that I'm seating this properly. Awesome. It looks... I get my thumb down in there. Just use the nail, gently push. Just make sure it's nice and snug. Yeah, I could feel that seat a little bit better. Push on the wires just to really make sure. Okay, so before we do anything, we are going to simply seat the disk drive back in place. Oh, come on, line up, line up. There we go. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to bolt the disk drive back into place. And then we're going to go fire it up. So you guys will definitely be joining me for that. So in one screw goes. That should be fine. meant to use this one. There we go. All right. So once we got that, let's go ahead and jump over to our setup right over there. And let's make sure the disk drive actually works before reassembling. So the first thing you're going to want to do is grab your Wii very carefully and bring it over. Now we're going to just plug this back in so we have our disk eject and our power. Okay, so now that we have this just barely on, we can imagine that it would be like this. So we need to make sure that our shiny part is face down, which would make sense because the laser is going to be on the bottom. Let's go ahead and plug it in real quick. Just be very careful with it. Don't electrocute yourself or anything. The way I'm holding it should be pretty much okay. And I just lost my video cable. So we're just going to plug it in real quick. All right, so the Wii should have power. Yeah, so there is a red light right here, so we do have power. The actual plastic piece right here does not light up. It is simply a button with a transparent hole for this light. So we're going to hit the power button. Actually, this doesn't even have a button. So we're going to just pretend that we have a front of our Wii like that. We try to line it up just long enough to actually push the button. There we go. All right. So, now that that's done, we're going to hit OK. We're going to take our disc. Now this is the exact same disc. This is exactly where I placed it earlier. We're going to put it in. Little side note. So I am going to make a Snapchat of it. So many screws and stickers later, I have this disk drive out. This is his Wii Sports disc. Here's the new drive installed. And I'm currently making a video. It's going to spin up. Sounds a lot healthier. I would say that's fixed. Now I just got to reassemble it. All right, cool. So from here, you just reassemble it the same way we took it apart, just in reverse. I'm going to go ahead and power this off, and we're going to go ahead and run through that process. So once your disk drive has stopped, I'm just going to unplug those. It's okay if they fall. we'll deal with this in just a second. I'm just gonna go ahead and move everything back over here. All right, let's point this down just a little bit so we can actually see our workspace. So this is the workspace I've been using the whole time. Okay. So let's see if I remember how to do this. Take this. This is just going to get nice and snug down in there. I don't think this actually screws to anything. Just like that. And tuck that in, push it down. Okay, yeah, it's coming back to me now. Okay, so honestly, I think I put the front of it back on too quickly. So we're gonna undo that. Let's go ahead and slap the side of it back on before doing this piece. It should go on a lot easier. Yes, just like that. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put the front back on. Just like that, flip it over. So one thing with reassembly is it's really just a test of your memory. Can you remember where everything goes? And if you can, this will be really easy. And if you can't, find somebody who can. Because once you got a video camera or a notepad nearby, you're probably going to struggle with it, which is perfectly okay. Not everybody has a good memory, and some people do, and some people don't. So at the end of the day, just do what you're comfortable with, and don't worry about what other people think. Now, reassembly, I'm just picking which screws I want to do first because of where I remember them being. And that will help me narrow down where things go. Back to something reasonable. So once we do that, let's flip this over. Let's go ahead and knock this out too. So this one clearly goes right here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure all my tri-wings are done before anything else. So I have 3 screws that are going to be left over. That is simply because I took the disk drive screws out for no reason. I'm gonna just lower that back in and then tighten it with a Phillips. So I did those 2, I did those, I did those. All right, next thing would be, let's go ahead and get these 2 done. These are fairly obvious. That one can go there, and this one can go there. Then we're going to take our little itty bitty screw right there, and this one's going to go into this little hole right there. So that way we can put the little foot back over it, and then that'll be done. And then finally, we flip it back over to the top. Now, we are going to do... So I'm going to put the Phillips there. I mean, I don't think we're going to have a structural difference. And we're about to cover it with 3 identical screws and a plastic piece anyway. But do be aware that I might be doing this out of order. I will put on screen if they should be flipped. So in order to keep the front of it from coming off, because you will notice it's a little loose right there, we need to go ahead and put this back on too. So we're just going to take this and our tabs. You basically just kind of tuck that up under there a little bit, and you just want to line it up and then push it back into place just like that. And it would appear that this has nowhere to go. Interesting. All right, so once you get that snap back into place, it should just look like that. You're going to take your 3 screws over here. And they are Phillips. And why is it not screwing back in? All right, fine, we'll do it that way. Maybe it's like a slightly different threading or something. I couldn't tell you. This might be the screw that goes over here to better hold it in place. Let's try that. Yeah, that seems like that. And then finally, we're going to take our last screw and stick it right here. Should go in nice and snug. You're going to notice the console is really rigid now, and it does not want to come apart. And then finally, we're just going to pop this back in. So that should just pop back into place, and it should be nice and snug. And then same thing with this. And then, just because we probably should, we're going to go ahead and stick our feet back on. They may come off. That is a huge warning with all of this, is the feet may come off, and they may stay off permanently. So only perform this if you are willing to put that at risk. Then we're going to take our little sticker. And there may be like a third party that sells these stickers like brand new or remakes or what have you. I'm not sure, but I'm just sticking them back on just so it looks presentable. And then we're going to put our little foot back on. And then lastly, we're going to put these little stickers back on the bottom to cover up those screws. Just kind of slide them in and then push. Do it again. And one more time. And that's part of the fact that I scraped this. Like I basically scraped the sticker into 2 layers and then pulled off both of those layers individually. That's one of the layers, so just be careful. And just like that, we did it. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to my video on how to repair your Wii. The disk drive, I'm sure, can be sent off somewhere, but it is so much cheaper to just ship one to you than to try to repair it yourself. And I'm sure you could like harvest like the board, and maybe the laser's just no good, but whatever's wrong with it, it's not really worth repairing unless they are very, very hard to find. I found 2 of them from the same seller on eBay for 15 bucks. And then shipping was like another 10. So to perform this service and make a little bit of a tip, like a $3 tip, your best friend or whoever trusts you with it could literally spend $30 total. That's it. So there's not really a need to salvage it and try to repair it. I mean, you could sell it on eBay and try to make some of your money back, and you could essentially break even at that point, because a $15 disk drive, you could honestly get away with listing it as 4 parts / not working for the same price as a working one. I mean, if anybody's interested in buying them, I have 2 broken disk drives. Leave some sort of comment down below if you're interested in taking them and flipping them or whatever. I don't care. All I know is the disk drive is fixed, and my coworker is going to be really, really happy with his Wii finally working again. So if anybody else wants me to do this, I do plan on starting a business at some point where that's what I will be doing, is working on consoles and computers mainly. Maybe touching laptops or something, but yeah, if anybody's interested, let me know down below. And I would love to take a look at it. I tried to edit this video as best as I could to give you an idea of how exactly long it would take to do it from start to finish without interruption. As you saw in the video, I had like a few moments where I had to like cut. I was basically just getting myself back on track. I wasn't trying to say, hey, look, you can do this in 5 minutes, and then it takes 50 minutes, and then I'm cutting it down to 5 minutes. No. I'm cutting out if you were doing it yourself, what doesn't matter. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out my Discord. It's on screen now. It's also down in the description below. And also, I do have paid memberships here on the YouTube channel, and I encourage you to go check them out. Some of the perks will be changing as of recording this video. And leave a comment down below if you got stuck somewhere. Be sure to check out my other videos, and I will catch y'all later in another video or live stream. My Twitch is on screen, by the way. Be sure to check that out too, and I will see you soon.